What's going on, man? How y'all doing? My name is Jesse Allen, nickname Bruiser. That's what everybody grew up calling me. They won't stop calling me that, so I let them go ahead and just, it is what it is. But um, my name's Jesse Allen, and this is my testimony. You know what I'm saying? That I want to give to some people about, you know, my life, what I've been through before I came to Jesus. Okay. Um, it started off, you know what I'm saying? How I go is, I always had a hard life. Me and my brother, you know what I'm saying, my grandmother, my dad, my family, period, you know what I'm saying, that I got raised with, you know what I'm saying? It was, me, my little brother, and my older brother, Derek, you know what I'm saying? But, my dad, he was a pimp, you know what I'm saying, and my mom, you know what I'm saying, she was out there doing her thing too, you know what I'm saying, and stuff, man, and, with my dad, you know what I'm saying, this is a story I get from my dad, but, but this ain't really even about them. So we grew up, man, we grew up real poor, ain't had nothing. We grew up on John Street, you know what I'm saying, right across from the squares, and we never had nothing. My grandmother, man, best person in the world, man, you know what I'm saying, raised, you know what I'm saying, 9 boys, man, and, along with me and my brother, you know what I'm saying, because, truth be told, man, our mama left us, you know what I'm saying, and stuff, man, and, sometimes I still have a little bit of animosity about that today, but, you know what I'm saying, God is my God, and he's an awesome God, and he's changing me, you know what I'm saying, but we never had nothing, free lunch. One time, man, we was doing so bad, man, we ate popcorn and drunk Kool-Aid for a week. You know what I'm saying? And we always was with our little cousins, you know what I'm saying? And, my grandmother always made a way, put it that way. She worked hard, you know what I'm saying? She did what she could for us, man. She raised us right, you know what I'm saying? But, my grandmother raised us to say please and thank you, you know what I'm saying? And, she raised us in the church and all that. But it was just when we got older, we wanted to go our own way. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my grandma. You raised us right. You did everything you could do for us. But it was us, when we got older, who wanted to go our own way. You know what I'm saying? And, taking care of 9 boys, it was hard for her. You know what I'm saying? And she was always crying, man. And it made me cry when I seen her, man. And, that's all me and my little brother knew was my grandma, my dad, and my uncles. You know what I'm saying? My mom, you know what I'm saying? She bounced on us. Truth. She wanted to be a singer. You know what I'm saying? She blames it on my dad, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, my dad probably put his hands on it, man. But one thing I can say is he was there. He came to my schools and everything. So, basically, growing up, man, I had a lot of anger issues about that. A lot of anger issues about living in poverty. A lot of anger issues about sleeping in the same bed with my brothers, my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Because we was living in, a 2-bedroom house. 3-bedroom house, and she had 9 boys plus my uncle. You know what I'm saying? But one thing they taught us was to love each other and stuff, though. But it didn't stop me from wanting more. So, it was just me and my little brother, man. You know what I'm saying? My dad used to, he used to be on heroin, drugs real bad. He used to beat the hell out of us. You know what I'm saying? But he was there. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. And he had a little big part in raising us too. My uncles did too, but my grandmother, she did the most. You know what I'm saying? And we put her through the most. So, from being just hungry because my grandmother couldn't buy us what we wanted to eat and what we wanted to wear, you know what I'm saying? After John Street, we moved to Lafayette Street. So we on Lafayette Street, you know what I'm saying? We hungry. You know what I'm saying? We don't got no food or nothing like that, man. So we went from going to people's backyards, stealing off their apple trees, you know what I'm saying, stealing their grapes, to going to McDonald's garbage can. We had to steal out of McDonald's garbage can, man, just to eat and get full, man. We used to come home with big boxes of that stuff, man. Me, my brother, my uncle, the kids, some of the kids in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, and we just never had nothing. Then we made it to free lunch every rip, you know what I'm saying, and stuff, because we never really had nothing. So as time goes by, you know what I'm saying, we getting older, You know, I'm study getting into it with my dad. You know what I'm saying? You know, we getting abused. You know what I'm saying? We getting abused. You know what I'm saying? And my dad always came like, man, your mom don't care about y'all. She left y'all, man. You know, people saying, man, your mom threw you and your brother in the garbage can. Said they left us in a heroin house with this lady named Miss Armstrong who sold heroin. And said that you know, me and my brother was like 1 and 2. It said people was like, you know, ODing over us, falling on us, smacking us. Our pampers was dirty. We never had nothing. You know what I'm saying? So just hearing all that, man, going through all that, I started running away and stuff, man. And, you know, staying where I could stay, eating what I could eat, you know what I'm saying? I had my big cousin. He was looking out for me all the time. His name was Gary Griffin. He now a pastor. You know what I'm saying? But I never could leave my little brother. You know what I'm saying? Dawan. His name's Dawan Allen. You know what I'm saying? And it was just me and my brother all the time. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I mean, my Uncle Kevin, man, you know, my grandmother, you know, my other uncles. But we all, like I keep saying, still had a hard life. You know what I'm saying? So as time go by, you know what I'm saying, we started, you know, getting into gangs and drugs and all that, man. Started stealing. You know, I was a little handsome fella, man. So, you know, I had chicks here, chicks there, having babies all over the place, man. And, you know what I'm saying, then I turned to drugs and started doing drugs and, you know what I'm saying, gang banging like still, man, shooting up people's house, shooting at people, you know what I'm saying, and just doing the most, man. You know what I'm saying? Life was hard, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, where we at now? Like, we at Wiser Park. I remember coming up here with Carlos Lincoln, Ray Lincoln, all them flipping and stuff like that, man. And stayed up here at free lunch, you know what I'm saying, and loved it, you know what I'm saying, because I was with my cousins. We knew what we was going through. We knew we didn't have nothing, but we had each other. So, you know what I'm saying, it was all love, you know what I'm saying. But like I said, then came the stealing, the gang banging, the drug selling, from drug selling to drug doing, you know what I'm saying, the sex with all types of women, man, and just out here just running around doing us, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, as time go by, you know what I'm saying, me and my brother, you know what I'm saying, we started rapping, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, we was doing little shows here, little shows there, man, trying to get deals and stuff like that, man, but it just wouldn't work because we couldn't stay out the streets, and drugs had a hold of us, you know what I'm saying. We was out there, you know, doing our thing, man, you know what I'm saying, and breaking in houses, stealing, you know what I'm saying, but we stayed on our rap thing, though, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of people know us from rapping, Bruiser and Dawan, you know what I'm saying, and I just loved it, man, and he loved it, you know what I'm saying, and all that, man. But so after a while go by, you know what I'm saying, we deep off in the streets now, we deep off in the drugs now, we deep off in the robbery now, we deep off in the gunplay now, we deep off in the gangs now, you know what I'm saying. It's just a whole world of just sin that I was involved in, you know what I'm saying. Like me, I was the type of person, man, that loved Eazy-E, I loved Bone, I loved anything that had to seem like it had to do with Satan. I loved it, man. You know what I'm saying? The backwards talking, the deep throat talking, you know what I'm saying? And I just loved it, man. So I started getting off into that. You know what I'm saying? And I started painting my nails black, you know what I'm saying, and you know, sometimes even having conversations with Satan, you know what I'm saying, like, man, Satan, man, I don't got nothing, man. I mean, I'm asking God to give it to me, but he ain't giving me nothing, you know what I'm saying. I mean, well, Satan, can you give it to me? You know what I'm saying? I worship you, man. I do this, I do that, you know what I'm saying, and life got a little better. Life, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, life got a little better, man, you know what I'm saying? A little money from here, you know what I'm saying? Then I was using all types of chicks and stuff like that. I was getting it in a sinful way, in a worldly way, but I had asked Satan to give it to me. But with asking Satan for favors come consequences, man, if not death. And I started having all these kids. I started going to jail for child support. I started going to jail for battery, you know what I'm saying, me getting into it with these girls. A lot of them I didn't even hit. A lot of them lied on me and said I hit them, but I still went to jail, you know what I'm saying. And through all this, my mom was never there. Always could run back to my grandmother, man. So you know, as time went by, man, I moved out of town a few times, came back, you know what I'm saying, then, you know, come back, you know, I just slept on the streets, I just slept in vacant houses, I just slept in vacant cars, I just slept under cars, I just slept on back porches, I just slept every dope houses, I just slept anywhere you can imagine, man. And still wasn't trying to get God my all, man. Wasn't trying to get God my all. I've been to the hospital, I've been shot, I've been beat, I've been stabbed, I've been beat up by the police, you know what I'm saying? And still wasn't trying to give my all to God, man. So, one point in time, I was with my wife that I'm with now, which we got divorced before, then we got back together. I was still drugging and drinking, still cheating, still doing what I wanted to do, and still wasn't giving God his glory, man, for keeping me alive. Still wasn't thanking him. I was only thinking about myself. So, keep going. You know, I just got off into a whole world of just darkness, man. You know what I'm saying? Just life. My life was dark. My ways were dark and everything, man. So, I ended up getting back with my wife one time, and I was out doing drugs, out cheating, you know what I'm saying, doing what I normally do, you know what I'm saying. It's a longer story than this, and but it'll go on for years, you know what I'm saying. I mean, my life story will be a bestseller. I always say that because of the stuff I went through. I ain't saying everything, but you know, I'm just giving y'all real insight on really what brought me to Christ. So, you know, I get in the church, and then I get out of church. I get into church, then I get out of church. You know what I'm saying? Once I felt that God wasn't there for me, I go to Satan. You know what I'm saying? Once I felt that things got too rough for me with Satan, I go back to God. You know what I'm saying? But then I ended up staying with Satan. I stayed with Satan longer than I stayed with Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And so one night, I was out drugging and drinking. Came home like 6 in the morning. Next day, got up. Me and my wife got into it. She left. Next thing you know, the police came back. She was like, I want you out of my house. So I'm thinking like, oh man, all the bad stuff I done did, man, I done messed up, man. My wife leaving me, I don't got no job, they looking for me, I got a warrant. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to jail, man, I'm gonna lose my wife. She finna be messing with this other dude, all this, blah, blah, that. So for days I was trying to get in touch with her, and she wouldn't talk to me, she wouldn't answer my calls or nothing. So as that time went by, I started thinking about my son, you know what I'm saying? And my brother was in prison at the time. So I started thinking about my son who got killed in 2008. His name was Jaquan Man Allen. So I'm like, man, so I was a bad father to my son. You know what I'm saying? I played my wife. My mom was never there. My dad was never there, man. I disrespected my grandmother, the one who loved me the most, man. I'd have been through this. I'd have been through that. So I'm sitting there with my grandma. She trying to talk to me. I'm going off on her. I'm getting mad. So I calmed down. I said, I'm sorry, Grandma. I love you. So I seen this big old bottle of pills, Tylenol PM. So I grabbed the bottle, and I'm looking at the bottle, and I'm like, 50 pills, I think 500 milligrams. They was Tylenol PMs. And I was like, I said, man, my wife don't care about me no more. You know what I'm saying? My son gone. I'm stressing over that because I wasn't a good dad, and I'm eating myself up about it, kicking myself in the butt about it. You know what I'm saying? My brother in prison, that's the only person who really, really loved me, man, more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? My mom ain't there for me. My brothers ain't there for me, except, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, except my brother that was in prison, you know, but he couldn't do nothing. So after that, you know what I'm saying, I grabbed the bottle of pills, man, and I was like, Grandma, I said, I'm tired. I said, I'm tired. I said, my wife dogging me. I said, ain't nothing going right for me. I said, you know what, forget it. Boom. Drunk the whole bottle of 50 plus pills. So I'm sitting there, and my grandma like, you know what I'm saying, I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there like this. I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying, this don't feel right. So my grandmother was like, I'm about to call your Uncle Vic. So I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying, no, Grandma, I said, I just want to die. I said, I'm just tired of it. And my grandmother told me too, she was like, she said, you know, if you kill yourself, it ain't no forgiveness for that. And you going to hell when you ain't coming back. So I was like, you know what I'm saying, I said, I'm not coming back. I said, I don't care. I said, I'm tired of living here. I'm tired of life. You know what I'm saying? I was tired of life. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, all my life it wasn't nothing but bad. Like I said, poverty, drugs, fighting, people trying to kill me trying to kill people, getting into it, hurting all these good women that I had. You know what I'm saying? They taking my kids out of my life. I'm walking out of my kids' life. I'm doing everything up under the sun. You know what I'm saying? So I took the pills. You know what I'm saying? So my uncle ended up pulling up. And he was like, come on, man. It's my Uncle Vic, my favorite uncle. He taking me to the hospital. We on our way to the hospital, right? So as we on our way to the hospital, he had on this Like Jenny song. It go, I forgot how it goes. It go like 26 years, 17 days. Went through something. Got 2 babies on the way. But the last words he said on that chorus was said, seems like I'm going to hell anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, what did I do? So then the devil got back in me. I'm mad. Like, forget it. I'm ready to die. But as we going, my uncle, he cruising though. You know, we talking. He talking to me about my life and how he want me to straighten up. But as we talking, the pills, all 50 pills, 50 plus pills, because it was a 60 bottle. All 50 plus pills that I took, you know what I'm saying, was dissolving in my system. And so my uncle, you know what I'm saying, he started talking, and only thing that's playing in my mind is this Like Jenny song. And after he said, seems like I'm going to hell anyway, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, man. So I started getting scared. I'm like, okay, nah, I'm not ready to die, you know what I'm saying, and stuff, man, because of that song, you know what I'm saying. And I don't, for some reason, I felt that was the Lord telling me, like, bruh, it's over. If you die, you finna go to hell. So we ended up getting to the hospital, and we sitting in the bed, because the hospital packed for some reason. So they got at Parkview Hospital on Randelia. No, I mean Parkview on Randelia. So we sitting in the hospital, and they got beds in the hallway. They said, well, all the rooms is filled up. That's all I remember. All the rooms is filled up, so we got to sit right here. So as I'm sitting there, my uncle's sitting by me, and he put his hand on my back, because I'm like, Uncle, I said, man, I'm getting real sleepy, man. And my heart started beating fast. I said, Uncle, I'm getting real sleepy. So as I'm sitting up there, the song popped in my head again. We wasn't in the car this time, but the song had popped in my head. And all I could hear, seems like I'm going to hell anyway. So I'm like, Vic, I said, Uncle Vic, I said, man, I can't keep my eyes open, man, and stuff like that, man. And next thing you know, a voice came in my head and said, you finna die, it's time for you to die, you finna die. This voice kept saying I was finna die. So next thing you know, man, I changed my whole mind, cuz I changed my mind. I said, no, Lord, I said, I can't die, don't let me die, man. So the security guard that came over, and my uncle had grabbed me, he was like, help me, because I jumped up, and they grabbed me. I was like, no, no. I said, no, Lord, no, 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 I made a mistake, I'm sorry. I said, no. Next thing you know, as I was screaming, everything just went black. Man, so all I seen was just darkness. I wasn't standing up or nothing. This all I know is everything went black. And next thing you know, I was coming down out of the darkness, and it was blue. It was sky blue, and it was clouds. So as I'm coming down through the clouds, I start hearing these little faint screams, man. It was like, you know, from afar off. So as I was going down, went through the clouds, right, I'm coming. Oh, Jesus. I'm coming, right, down. And I see this big old gigantic square, man, about as big as the world, man. And you know how you got a box and you stuff too many clothes in it and it busts out at the seams? This how this square was busting out at the seams. So as I'm coming down, I see all these people. I see all these people, man, and just blood, nothing but blood. And the screams got louder, and it sounded like 10 stadiums of people just yelling. And all they was yelling was, let me out, let me out, let me out. Nothing else. They was just yelling, let me out. That's all they was yelling. So as I got closer, I'm coming down. Jesus, I'm coming down, Lord. And I'm coming down. Whoa, I'm coming down, right? And all I see, man, is just hands, just all over faces, people arms, and I see blood, and I see people pulling skin off people's faces, man. It was just gory, man. It was like a horror movie, man. But it was so real, man. I heard their screams, man. I felt the heat, everything, man. And they just pulling skin off people's faces, pulling each other's eyes out. And all they saying is, let me out, let me out. So I'm going down, I'm steady going down. So I look and my eyes buck like, first thing I'm, no, Lord, no, 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 Lord, don't let me go to hell, don't let me go to hell, don't let me die, don't let me die. I said, Lord, no. And I just kept on screaming, no, no, no. As I was slowly coming down, I'm steady hearing the screams, man, and I seen like bloody hair, just people grabbing people, like I said, their eyeballs, man, they was pulling them out, man, and they was like they was, you know, you could see the marks from the skin that they was pulling back from people, you know, screaming and stuff. So, and what it was, they started grabbing me. You know what I'm saying? They started grabbing me, man. I'm like, no! You know what I'm saying? I'm really going, Lord, man. I'm telling you, man, dude, I ain't never screamed so much in my life, man. And they grabbed my leg. Not my left leg, but they grabbed this right leg. So they grabbed my right leg, and the thing was their hands, it was so much blood. Their hands was slipping off my foot, from like my ankle to my foot, and their hands was slipping off. And that's when I really got scared, when they touched me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh man, I'm like I said, I'm screaming, no, Lord, no, Jesus, no. Please don't let me go to hell. Please don't let me die. I don't want to go to hell, Lord, please. So next thing you know, it just, it didn't get quiet. It was just still screams, still screams. I was finna say they got quiet, but they didn't get quiet. They were still screaming. So next thing you know, two hands had grabbed my shoulders, and we started ascending up. I started ascending up. And as I was ascending up, I seen the people, man, still they wasn't grabbing me trying to pull me in hell. They were grabbing me trying to get out of hell. You know what I'm saying? Jesus. They was grabbing me trying to get, man, and they there for the rest of their life, bro. They there, man. And they can never get out, man. God, man. But, dude, I'm sorry, man, but it gets to me, man, when I think about it, man. They can never get out, bro. That could have been me. You know what I'm saying? That could have been me. And, you know what I'm saying? As I'm ascending up, man, I'm like still screaming, no, Lord, no, Lord. Then I just got quiet. I didn't say nothing no more because I was moving away from that scene. But as I was moving away, it was this big old square, looking like, you know, like you could feel everybody in the world in it. But it was packed. And what I get from that, man, is that hell, being that, it was, like I said, it was like a box where you stuff clothes in it and then the sides start busting out. This is how it was, and I'm going to say hell. Hell was busting out at the seams, man. Hell is overcrowded. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, but it's not. Hell can last and go on forever. But this is what God was trying to tell me. This is what Jesus was trying to tell me. That, man, it's so many people in hell. So many people in hell. And hell is study feeding itself. It's study, sin is study feeding hell. Satan is study feeding hell. Hell is real, man. So as I'm ascending up, I wake up and I got this thing down my throat, this tube down my throat. And I'm waking up and I can't breathe. I don't know where I'm at. I'm like, man, what the hell going on? You know what I'm saying? So I look at the calendar, you know what I'm saying? It's 3 days after I took the pills. I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So they came, they was like, well, you died. You know what I'm saying? And we brung you back. And I said, man, I said, if y'all only knew, told the nurse, if you only knew what I seen. You know what I'm saying? What I seen, man. And, you know, my auntie came up there, my kids and my kids' mother, you know what I'm saying, which I appreciate them, man, because, you know what I'm saying, they was the only ones who came up there. My mom didn't come, my dad didn't come, you know, nobody came, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. But I appreciate my Uncle Vic for even taking me, you know what I'm saying, and stuff, man. So after that, man, it just stayed on my mind. But you know what? I still didn't learn my lesson. Still didn't learn my lesson, bro. So as time went by, you know what I'm saying, I ended up going to Parkview Behavioral Health. I stayed in Parkview Behavioral Health for like 3 days. Detox and all that stuff like that, man. Went to, you know, they got me on this medicine and stuff, man. And they ended up letting me go. And I I ended up going to jail for a minute because I had a warrant, got that over with. Then I got out, and my wife took me back. So we ended up moving to Eden Green. Eden Green, we stayed in building 11, 11A. And I was back on, you know what I'm saying? I was back on my demonic stuff, you know what I'm saying? I let the world get to me. I let my kids not wanting to deal with me get to me. I let poverty get to me again. And, you know, we moved into the Greens, and I just, how they say, you do as the natives do. I started acting like them, started kicking it with them, started back doing drugs and, you know, all that stuff like that, man. So we stayed in Eden Green for 6 years, you know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden I started kind of gradually getting my life together. But mind you, in the back of my mind the whole time, 6 years to now, it stayed in the back of my head, man. It stayed in the back of my head. So, you know, staying in Eden Green, you know what I'm saying? I talked to my son, and my son, his name was Jaquan. I talked to him. I used to talk to him every day. He used to call me all the time. Dad, I'm beefing, and stuff like that. So I used to be like, son, man, chill out, man. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I said, man, it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. And he's like, Dad, I ain't trying to, but these niggas messing with me. You know what I'm saying? His words exactly. And I'm not finna back down. I'm like, cuz, like, son, sometimes you gotta back down. You know, my son was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? And he, you know, we all make mistakes. So, long story short, one night he called me. He said, well, Dad, I'm about to go to the club. You know what I'm saying? I said, what club? He said, Pierre's. They called it something else then. I forgot what they called it. But it's out. It was out at Pierre's, and we on the phone, we laughing and stuff like that. I was like, man, you know what, man? Forget the club, man. Why don't you come spend the night with me? He's like, Dad, I'm too old for that, man. I'm too old for that. I'm like, man, come on, man. I was like, man, spend the night with me, man. He was like, Dad, I'm too old for that. I'm not coming to spend the night with you. That's it. That's all. I'm going to party with my dudes, my niggas, I said. So he called me. We talked on the phone. I was like, son, be careful, man. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. So next thing you know, I'm asleep. Matter of fact, I'm not asleep. Matter of fact, me and my wife watching TV. I get a phone call. And it's his mom, Pam. So she was like, Bruiser, don't panic. Don't be like this. Don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't go off or nothing. She said, man got shot. But hold on, let me tell you something before then. I was talking to my mom, I think a few days before then. And she was talking about, we was talking about, man. I was telling her how worried I was about him. And she said, son, he gonna get shot, but he not gonna die. What? You know what I'm saying? What? So I'm gonna leave that alone right there. So Pam called me, and she said, well, I'm gonna pick you up. She picked me up in front of the Y on Creighton Street, the old Y. So we in the car, and she said, yeah. She said, they said he got shot and that he was slumped over the wheel. So immediately, I bust out crying. You know, they always say a mother feels things. Man, a father does too. You know, in all nationality, man, the child comes from the father. You know what I'm saying? You came from me. Your mom is really just an incubator who feeds you through time until your you know what I'm saying? Until you come out of her. But that little boy came from me. He came from me. All the way from me. You know what I'm saying? When I got my rocks off, he came from me. So I immediately started crying, man, because the voice came in my head and said, your son gone, man. It's over. So So we get to the hospital, man, and you know, they coming up to us. He's okay, and they're working on him now. Is he dead? No, he's not dead. He's not dead, and stuff, man. So, you know, his mom going off, man. You know, she going off, pushing people. What happened to my son? And I feel so sorry for her, man. You know what I'm saying? Because she just didn't know what was going on, man. And, you know, and then I look at my daughters, man, and they like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. You know, this, and they looking, I can look at them, man, they looking like it's a nightmare, bro. So, next thing you know, man, I'm like, where is my son, man? They put us back in this little room. I'm like, we all asking, where my brother at? Where my son at? Where my brother at? We just study asking. Man, so this doctor come, man. He comes in, man, just flat out say, man, I'm sorry to inform you, but your son is dead. Your son has passed away. Bro, you ever watch a movie where it was chaos and the camera was doing like this? And man, I just lost it, man. We all just lost it, man. And the dude told me, man, my son was dead, man. And yeah, man, I'm like, wow, man, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And so I goes home, man, and I'm calm, man, but I think about how I should have just grabbed him by his neck. I should have just grabbed him. Come on, you coming with me. I should have grabbed him by his neck when he was younger. But a lot of things happen I can't speak on, you know what I'm saying, because not only am I to blame, we all to blame. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to let that go. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I wish I should have just put my foot down, man, because when that dude told me my son was dead, man, that was the most devastating thing. Well, I thought that would have been the most devastating thing to happen to me. But at that point in time, it was. Because, you know what I'm saying, I had a relationship with my son, man, that people didn't understand or know about. And that's why it hurts me to this day. That's why I try to keep his name alive to this day and stuff, man. And because my son loved his dad, man. It was one time where his mom said that we got into it over some stuff. And as they was pulling off from the Metro field, we got into it at the Metro field with all my kids and baby mom and stuff like that. He was pulling off, he was just looking at me, man, like, dang. So, next thing you know, they said because of the incident, I couldn't see him no more. So one time I'm looking out the window, and, you know, he went to the school way, like, a couple miles down. And he was passing. He was a kid then. He was passing. This was after we got into it, and they said I couldn't see him no more. He was passing, and he was looking back. And I didn't want to get him in trouble, so all I did was look out the window. And he walked straight past my house. We were standing on Congress and in a green and white house on Congress and Calhoun. And he walked past. I seen him walk past. Then next thing you know, about 5 minutes later, about 10 minutes later, he was walking back past. And man, I just sat in the window, man, and was crying, man. And he just kept looking back, man. He kept looking back like, dang, man, is this dude gonna come out here and say something to me? And I never did. So as time went by, he got on his own 2 feet, man. Started selling dope, looking out for his family. He became the man of the house. You know what I'm saying? Started looking out for his family and stuff, man. And he came and found me. You know what I'm saying? And I explained to him about who I was and how I was, man. And I'm like, man, he didn't care about none of that, man. You my dad, man. We rocking. So we rocked out from then on, man. And you know what I'm saying? He ended up getting killed, man. And you know, so I got on drugs real bad, man. I let the hair grow out my face. I don't think I took a bath for like 2 months and stuff, man. I was stinking, head toe up, my beard was grown, I was drinking, I was, you know, doing drugs, man. So I ended up, I wanted to kill the dude that did it. You know what I'm saying? And that eventually didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? My daughter told me, she was like, if you go out there and you do something to that dude or his mama, I will not write you. I will not never speak to you again. Nothing. You will never see me again. So I killed that right there. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to have a relationship with my daughter. So time went by. I'm sitting there, man, and I ended up getting myself together. Went to church for a minute. Again, left Jesus alone. Left him alone. So one day I'm sitting there. I'm sitting at the crib. I got my kids. It's a nice summer day. Before the end, I went to prison again. I had spanked my kids with a belt, put marks on them, went to prison. And at this prison, it was called Westville Correctional. And I was like, all right, I didn't want to go. They said, you're going to Westville. I said, cool, my little brother there. You know what I'm saying? He was on a 3-year stretch. So I got to prison. We was in intake. And I'm sitting there, man, asking everybody, you see my brother, man? You see my brother? Tell him I'm here. Tell him I'm here. So I was tired, hungry, was ready to go to the dorm and go ahead and get my little time started. I only had like 2 months left because I did most of my time in jail. So I left out. Immediately when I left out, this dude came back and said, man, you know what? As soon as y'all left out, man, your little brother came in there, man, and asked where you was, man. So I stayed like a good 2 months and got out and came home. Me and my wife cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm on probation. I'm doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Started back getting my kids because I went through everything. I went through all the classes and scan and all that stuff like that, and they you know, gave me back joint custody of my kids. So I'm sitting there on this nice hot summer day, man. I get this call, man, and I don't answer this dude calls to this day. It's my Uncle Kevin, and I tell him, text me before you call me, tell me what you got to talk to me about, good or bad. So he called and he was crying. So I'm like, man, what's wrong? What's wrong, man? And I said, man, what's wrong with Grandma, man? What's wrong with Grandma? Because Grandma was in a nursing home, and he always, we love Grandma. You know, we cried with something wrong with her. So he was like, I said, what's wrong with Grandma? He said, Bruiser, it's not that. He said, I got something to tell you. I said, man, what, bro? I said, man, what's wrong? I said, what's wrong with my uncles? Man, last person on my mind, man. He said, Bruiser. He said, Dawan, man. He said, Dawan died. My fault, man. But he said Dawan died, man, and man, God, man, do you know, man, the Twilight Zone I was in, bro, the Twilight Zone I was in, man, and man, my heart dropped, man, my heart dropped, bro, and my heart dropped, man, and dang, man, I was just. Man, I was devastated, man. I mean, still to this day, man, you know what I'm saying? Because my brother, man, was all I had, man. I mean, from the time, from 1 to 2, bro, we 11 months apart, man. And that's all I knew, man. That's all I knew was Dawan, man. And I bought his shoes for his birthday, man. I comforted him, man. I did things that I wasn't supposed to do, man, to make him happy, man. And I did any and everything for my brother, man. And my brother, it was always, man, Bruiser and Dawan, man. And my brother died, man, of an asthma attack in Westville, man. And that was me and Dawan's worst fear, bro. Our worst fear that we used to tell each other, like, Dawan, bro, man, you know my worst fear is if you die. And he said, man, that's my worst fear too, man, Bruiser, if you died, man. He said, I wouldn't know what to do, man. It happened. Man, my worstest fear in the world, even before my grandma, man, came true, man, and my brother died, man. I didn't know if he was right with Jesus. That's my worst fear to this day. Was he right with Jesus? He was in Channel Lakes before he got in trouble and got moved to Westville, singing in the church choir and stuff. He sent me a Bible, me and my wife a Bible, and told me, always wrote me, Bruiser, keep praying, and you know what I'm saying, stay out the streets and everything, man. And I still didn't listen, man. So, you know, we had my brother's funeral and stuff, man, and so I was pretty cool, man. We went to the morgue, to Nelson's, man, and Nelson went and got my brother for free, man. I'll never forget that, man. He went and got, they was gonna cremate my brother, and Nelson said, nah, man, I'm not letting that happen, man. He said, I'm going to get your brother, man. It cost $700. Nelson said, don't worry about the money. He went and got my brother, man. I think Nelson did my brother's funeral for free. Pastor Johnson let us use the church for free. I love him. I love Nelson too, man. And so we got ready to go to the funeral, man. My kids, my son, Eris and Quavy, man, they was just right by my side, man, the whole time, man. And you know, and my kid's mother, man, and she married to this dude right now named Starkey Hambright, man. And I love that dude, man. He like my brother, man. And Renella became like my sister, man, because even though we had our times and our animosity, she never gave up on me. And she made my boys not give up on me. And so my boys was right beside me, man, and stuff, man. So we went to the funeral, man, and they wanted me to see him at the morgue, and I was like, I can't do it, man. And man, I walked down that aisle, man, and I seen that red shirt, man. I seen that body laying in the casket from afar, man, and still didn't hit me. You know what I'm saying? And Man, when I got up to that casket, bro, man, it just felt like my whole body got hit by like 20 bolts of lightning, bro. And I was like, Dawan, no, man, this is not true, man. Dude, you can't imagine seeing your son, your brother, laying there not moving, man. I'm like, Dawan, wake up, bro. I'm sitting here.